A rebel who was searching for treasures in his soul, fishing for gold. I found a key to unlock the door to my mind's gate, hidden with some hieroglyphs. Told me about my future and my past, and that I should get. Till I work it and get up off my ass. I'm on the path to move the masses to spiritual tactics. So masters, you bastards, spread it through classes. Live your life.
The veil has lifted the energy, shit that my indigos get that we different. Off the loose, so we tripping, the platinum we sipping. Now the dimensions are dripping. Unless you are different, you won't know the difference, or make a difference, you slipping. You're chasing this chicken, decoding the digits, you know that I stay on my pivot. Your body's the shell, your spirit's the snail, so why are you chasing your tail? They got you so pale, what is that smell? Chemtrails, what you inhale? I feel like evil Knievel. I'ma build me a cathedral for all of my people, so how that they cannot reach you. Power to the people, we are equal. All this evil, let us see that they cannot reach you. You are ascended, no more pretending. Work up a spinning, now the stars are bending. Conscious extending all your comprehension, and not to mention release all the tension. They want us divided cause they know united, we will override it. Fifth dimension, we gon' overnight it. Light the flame, baby, let's ignite it. So they can't hide it, nah, they can't hide the light. We blow up like dynamite. Had to kill the old me, cause I ain't want the kind of life. Nah, thought I.
Wake up, it's the indigo clutch. Wake up, 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 it's the indigo clutch. Wake up, 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 it's the indigo clutch. Wake up, 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 it's the indigo clutch. It's the indigo clutch. Wake up, wake up.
Elevate the masses, gotta find your passion. This our conscious flow, reppin' indigo. Know we free to glow, do this lyrical vision. Your goals form a path to proceed. Growing up, I was different. Outcast in the streets always had me a purpose to speak to the weak. Just believed in myself and my spirit prevailed. Said I found my way. Now they all say I'm their protege when they quote the name. Or as they shine in the world, keep combining. Introverted, so I kept my distance. Got love for you when we in the building. Yeah, CLE, know that's conscious living. Ain't with the light, then we cannot kick it now. All part of my manifestation. Told myself life is amazing. Adapt to the changes and phases. Wasting your time getting trapped in a stasis. Say no fail, conscious living ambition.
Grand Rising and Grand Day. Welcome in everybody to Rising with Raw. We are just gonna kind of ease our way into the flow of this space today. Got some good rest, slept in a little bit, and just really feeling no rush with this day on this Friday. Really just allowing the harmony and integration into the physical to really just unfold and take place with no pressure. No added force that's unnecessary. How are we all this rising? How are you, Sarah? Good to see you in the space. Out here in this beautiful view, enjoying the sunlight. We've already been up and met the sun, did a chakra clearing. Wonderful. Good start to your rising. good start. It's a really nice sunny day with a nice gentle breeze out today. See it in the trees. Got the beautiful birds. I swear the birds are such medicine and such therapy. Just listening to the birds every morning, or rising I should say. Alright. And if Sarah, if you want to hop on to talk about anything that's on your mind consciously, or anything that you find relatable with the collective, feel free. Or you can talk about your herbs and your wonderful remedies that you've been making at home. Present that to the collective and share a little bit about your passion. Space is open for you. Next week on Rising with Ra, not exactly sure how we're going to get things flowing, but we're going to be switching up the vibe a little bit, and we're going to transition. We're going to transition and transform into a new phase of Rising with Ra next week, and we'll see what that is over the weekend, as I've been feeling this chapter of mythologies and different guide councils coming to a close after today, as we have explored many different mythologies and pantheons over the last couple of months, starting with the archangels. Now we did the Egyptian pantheon, we did the ancient Greek pantheon, we did Hinduism, Buddhism, we did the Olympians, we did Norse Viking mythology. We did quite a few. And overall, I trust, and the whole intention is to bring awareness to the different types of guides, different types of archetypal energies we can mentally call on in our human journey for assistance and reflection of self-awareness. And that's really the whole point of going through the different pantheons and mythologies, is to really develop a relationship between yourself and any type of the guides that resonate for you, so you may utilize the tools and the conscious mental ability of utilizing different guides and beings in this existence while you're in the human journey. I will say next week I would definitely love to get more activities in these Rising with Ra spaces. Maybe some more flowing, get some music sessions going, maybe do some therapeutic painting, drawing, art sessions. We're gonna have some fun, and it's gonna come through beautifully, and I trust that it'll unfold exactly how it needs to, and we'll get some beautiful upgraded codes and activities in this Rising with Ra space starting next week. Oh, looks like Sarah's going to join us. Wonderful. Okay, well, before you join us, Sarah, let me go ahead and introduce the space and open it up properly. And welcome everybody to Rising with Ra. Grand day to you. And it's a beautiful Friday. And I trust that we are being patient and that we are allowing ourselves to integrate into our day and really allowing patience, inner peace, and unconditional love to shine through us. And let's just take a moment, if you may, and take a breath with me. Take a nice big deep breath. Just let it out. And let's draw it in. Draw our focus, draw our consciousness into this space. And allow ourselves to open up to receiving mentally inside of our mind, telling ourselves that we are receiving, that we are open to the unconditional love, the clarity, the guidance, the protection of this space, and releasing and letting go of any external attachments, anything that could distract us from focusing in this space, and really just giving us our all, giving our own self our all consciousness and our all focus as we navigate into this Rising with Ra. I'm your sacred space holder. I am the sacred pharaoh of this space, Marcus aka Christolight, and I am a multifaceted, intuitive, holistic medium practitioner of Reiki, crystal healing, oracle readings, life guidance. I do soul lineage, Cashapp meditations, as well as chakra balancing. And there's some few other things I do. I'm my own authentic video editor and producer. All my online content I produce and edit my own self from start to finish. And I also have my own online series, The Process of Clearing Layers, as well as this Rising with Ra. And season 2 of The Process of Clearing Layers will be coming back towards the end of the summer, perhaps in the middle, towards the end, around August. We'll have season 2 of The Process of Clearing Layers coming back. Yeah, I'll briefly touch on that as we go along over the summer. And I just want to let everybody know that my one-on-one holistic healing services are always available, and I have very flexible scheduling, so just reach out and we can go over any of the services, go over where you are with yourself, and see what resonates for you in your current path on your journey. And then we can get it scheduled and set up and do our thing. If you are local in Ohio, I do local in-person services. If you're not local, or even if you are local, I also do them online as well. A couple announcements. First announcement is tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, I am hosting my Root Chakra Empowerment Workshop, or Flow Shop, I should say. And that will be at 6 p.m. Eastern today, on Friday, and it's held on Zoom. So you do have to get a link from myself, and it is $7 to attend, and it's free if you're a Sacred Kingdom community member. And in that space, we will be going in depth about the root chakra fully. We will go over how to identify our own blockages and overactivations within our own personal life. We'll have space to journal and reflect upon what we can identify in our root chakra. And then I'll give you some tools, strategies, crystals that you can use in your everyday life to balance and maintain your root chakra. And then we'll wrap it up with a guided root chakra meditation to help release and clear any blockages or overactivations. And then on top of that, you guys have the option to receive a personal audio. That'll be tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Just reach out to me and we can get you in there today at 6 p.m. Eastern through Chakra Empowerment. And then last reminder is this Sunday, here live on Instagram, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be hosting and guiding another one of my Sacred Light meditations. Just like Anubis last week, we will be doing a Ascended Masters meditation. And that will be Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is also a community space, so if you're someone that wants to share Reiki, light language, or card readings during that space, feel free to reach out. We will make sure that we align and resonate with our values and the sacredness of the space, and then we'll have you come on if it aligns. Looks like we have a surprise guest coming on for this Rising with Ra. And there she is.
Grand
Welcome,
Rising.
Grand Rising, good to see you.
Hello. I see Holistic is here too. How's everyone doing this morning? Oh, this Rising.
This Rising, very well, very, very patient, just very grounded and connected. And just really taking it easy, slept in a little bit and just really eased the way into the day.
That's cool.
And how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. I'm sitting out here in this beautiful weather, and I was listening to the birds, and I was, hanging out with my chickens, of course, and yeah, I really, I do completely resonate with that. It's so nice to sit out here and feel the sunshine and hear the birds, and it's just beautiful. The past month or so, it takes everything in me to go do my 3D gig. I just want to sit out here in nature, and I want to, just bathe in it. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Just be and receive.
Yeah.
And it's a balance that I really wish for everybody to put effort into and to really try to put consciousness into is, trying to balance between our feminine and masculine energies of, feminine, just allow yourself to be, allowing yourself to receive unconditional love around you, allowing yourself to see, the beauty and the therapy and the medicine of being in nature, or not even just being in nature, just sitting at home and just enjoying what you enjoy passionately.
Mm-hmm.
And, balancing that with, your action, your divine masculine, your creative energy, and you're putting forth work. And, I just wish for everybody to find that balance for themselves.
I find that if I don't take at least 10 minutes for myself in the morning, in energy, earth energy and everything else, everything gets so convoluted by 5 p.m. because there's so much happening. It's like boom, boom, boom with every single person every single day, and I'm not willing it on. It just seems like energy is intensifying, time is getting faster, lessons are getting quicker, you know what I mean? And it's like, I find if I don't ground myself in the morning, I am just so out of sorts by dinner time. I really need to take that. At first I said to myself, I don't have that time. And then I said, wait a minute, do I have another hour and a half when I get home to de-stress because I'm so freaked out that I can't, right? You know what I mean? So I said, okay, let me think about this and readjust my schedule. And I did, and I'm so happy I did. It really makes a big difference. And I especially love when on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays when you do your thing, for example, because I can be in a community too, and get a reading and get some chakra work going on, you know, and it's really nice too. But I mean, I think it's very important right now. That's kind of the reason why I came to chat with you, is because I kind of wanted to bring awareness to the collective on what I'm noticing, and I'm a little concerned. You know, us light workers and us, you know, that are supposed to bring light, we need to make sure we keep focusing on this. I fully believe, you know, I see the mental health of the population getting a little bit rocky, you know, and for example, I know 2 people who have taken their life in the past month. I just got through some of my messages, and there's all this news about assisted, you know, I don't know what it's called in Canada, assisted, well, they assist you to die, basically. And I mean, I feel like people are, I don't mean to bring such negative energy to you, but I want to bring it up to the collective, because all we got to do is just smile and just share the love and the light in our hearts to each other and give everyone that inspiration and that hope, because I see so many people getting, you know, full of despair, you know, they feel desperate, you know, and all we got to do is just love each other like we're supposed to, like brothers and sisters, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like forgive each other. You know, they want to put us against each other. You know, we got to forgive each other and love each other through this, because this is really hard, and we're doing a great job. I don't want people to you know, become dismayed, and this is a really, really tough thing we're doing, and we're doing a great job. All of us are. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And thank you for coming on to share some like just real raw, you know, human emotion and human perspective. And yeah, you're absolutely, I agree, is that, you know, we really do gotta be here for each other.
Yeah.
When it comes to just giving support and just giving a little bit of upliftment and showing others that, you know, they can express themselves, that they are perfectly okay because they are going through emotions, because they are having thought patterns, because they are not sure on what to do next with their health or what to do next in their whole life. And, you know, I just want everybody to know that it's okay to be in these places with yourself. And it's part of the full contrast of life and who we are, is to explore and go through these different motions of experience. And it's kind of like Monday with the reading out of the Kabbalion that I was talking about, which is, I can't remember it exactly, but it's along the lines of, you know, we can be the experiencer that is identifying as the experiences, or we can be the experiencer that realizes the experiences are temporary and that you are more than experiences. And that's big. That's a really big quote. That's a really big statement when it comes to the reality of, you know, our soul journey, our soul life. And man, there's been so much programming to us when it comes to all this, and we can very easily lose sight of being the observer, or being the soul that's in the human experience. And I just want to invite people to really start exploring, if you haven't yet, exploring holistic avenues and exploring these different conscious knowledges and philosophies that point the arrow back to you internally
Yeah.
as being all self. It can really dissolve and shift a lot of attachments, a lot of disorder, a lot of lostness, and other things that we are experiencing and feeling within us.
I think that's really important to bring that up. And I think maybe a first step, in my opinion, for me, was easier to look at the emotion itself. Sometimes it's harder to look at the whole situation from the observer perspective. Maybe have people start by just, say if something happens and they freak out. Well, they should observe that emotion first and go, wait a minute, why did I just do that? Was it justified? Then rationalize it. Do you know what I'm saying? To then understand, okay, then that emotion goes into the situation, and how can I prevent that from happening next time?
Yeah. Journaling. I find journaling is a best friend. There's so much you can do with journaling, writing, especially when you really get creative with it. Something that I had kind of like come through me as a download, as a technique that we can use, is that like we can journal, and every so often just write down maybe like mind, body, emotions, spirituality, spiritual energy, whatever you want to call it. Now within each category, just kind of go through each one and explore yourself, reflect, go introspective, and go through mind and be like, take a scan, take a reflection of your mind real quick and be like, okay, yeah, yesterday and before and today, I am continuing to have this thought pattern regarding this person or this, and it's something that I've been wanting to release. It's something that I don't want to continue to have happen. And then that's under mind, and then continue to do that, and then go under emotions, and then look at, I've been having past attachments to this person in my life, or this past relationship, or to the experience from my childhood, and write what those are under emotions, and then go to body and look at body and see, I've been having problems in my right knee. I've been having lower back issues. I've been having some lung issues going on. And then write that down under body. And then what you can do is you can go back through those and start dissecting each one. To start being the observer, start dissecting them, start seeing what caused this. What's the root that's linked up to all these issues that are taking place?
Yeah.
And it really steps you into not only the observer, but into the alchemist role or the self-master role, where now you're taking accountability and you're seeing how you're responsible for it over time.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to my own journey, and this was in 2015 when I really started exploring this thing. And I found that I only...
I gotta grab my chargers, so go ahead and keep going.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say that early in my journey, I took a good look at my emotions, and I found that it was either good and bad, angry or happy. Like, there was no middle ground, And there's like this poster that has all these little emoticons of, how are you feeling today, And it has all these different little, like probably 30 different little faces that show different expressions of emotion and everything. And, I started challenging myself to utilize each one of those emotions on that chart. And I found that it actually gave me much more awareness, like you're saying, to become the observer in that role. And it actually works pretty well. A lot of us are, I don't want to say afraid, but hesitant to use certain emotions or to express true emotions because we were taught not to. And when you have that realization of, wow, this is an emotion I've never really, used before, expressed before, I was told I shouldn't, it's such a releasing feeling when you start to then use that emotion. It's liberating in a very interesting way, Anyway, it's like I'm talking to myself over here. Hi, guys. Let's see, who's in the room right now? It's me. Hi, girls. Hello, Grand Rising to you. We are having a temporary pause.
Sacred Light, and I'm presenting to you my Sacred Light services that are available currently. I am currently offering Reiki, chakra alignment and empowerment, intuitive life guidance, soul origin galactic therapy meditation sessions, as well as sacred oracle readings. These are all services that I'm divinely offering and have available to you any day of the week. You may contact me through my email, which is marcustut23@gmail.com, through Facebook at Christolight Robbins, or through Instagram at sacredlight33. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me at any of those contacts, and I will give you the best answer I can to help you get clarity upon what could best suit you on your journey. And we can book a session whenever you're ready. Wholeness, balance, love, vibrations. Alrighty, got the charger. We are all good. It's on 5%.
Oh, yeah, these videos take up battery quick.
Yeah, they do.
So I was talking, but then I kind of trailed off because I was like, well, basically I just, huh?
What were you talking about?
Well, I was saying that, early in this journey for me, there was no middle ground, I don't know if you can hear me.
You kind of cut out for a moment.
Basically, that there was no middle ground. Like, it was all, I'm happy or I'm mad. I am glad or I'm sad. There was no middle ground, And then I came across like this chart that had like 30 different emoticons of how are you feeling today, different emotions and stuff. And so I challenged myself to go into that chart and use each one of those emotions.
Okay.
In a situation, right? To become familiar with them. And it kind of was liberating in a way. It kind of freed me up emotionally. Because so many of us are taught that we shouldn't say things like, we shouldn't, we shouldn't say certain things because we're just taught that way, and so then we go our whole life, holding in on emotions and holding back on emotions. And, if you do that, there's a lot of evidence that shows that it causes cancer or it causes diseases if you hold those emotions in over time, And that's the reason why I wanted to come on and talk with you today, because I feel like it's such an important thing right now for the collective to tend to each other's emotions and to our own emotions, to help each other,
Absolutely, I agree.
I also feel like, too, that this is like a final test, if you will. The darkies are giving one more round of negativity and to see if it can resonate with you in your mind. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of people struggling right now. And that's why I wanted to bring it to the attention of everybody so we can help each other out. Put the energy out there to be supportive and to be understanding, and, I think that's great.
And, the thing is, too, is that we got to be willing, we got to be open, and we got to be willing to put effort into changing, as well as transforming. And there's a lot of tools, there's a lot of brothers and sisters, practitioners and conscious beautiful souls out there that are willing to give their time and their energy to assist you on your soul path. And it's ultimately going to be up to you if you're going to start exploring these different ways of assistance. If you're going to start trying out workshops, if you're going to start trying out one-on-one services with people, if you're going to start trying out different ways to implement meditation or practices into your day, it's going to come down to you. So I just want to put that reminder out there that as much as others can hold these spaces and do these lives and hold different events and workshops, it's still going to take your own participation in what you're doing in your everyday life outside of these spaces online and with others. And that's where you're going to really see the true benefits. You're going to really see, the reaping of what you're sowing. It's through your everyday life and what you're doing in your everyday life.
Yeah, and I want to add to that and say, know that you're brave and know that it's amazing what you're doing. Like, don't worry about getting somebody to go with you. Just go do it. Just make yourself happy. Give yourself a treat.
Yeah, I agree. I come on these lives. I have zero expectations of how many people will come in. I don't really care to attach to the outcome or expectation. I just know that if nobody is alive, so be it. I'm still broadcasting this to the conscious universe and the collective, and so allowing myself to receive the channeled energy and medicine that is coming through. And even if there's just one person, so be it. That one person is a ripple, and so what they receive through this space is apparently exactly what they need in that moment. And as they say, never underestimate the power of a seed. And seed planting, I have found, has been a beautiful thing in my life. You know, I come across people, or people will come into these live spaces, and I'll be talking about exactly what they just had on their mind or what they needed to hear. And sometimes they don't even realize it, but they heard exactly what they needed to, and they come to realize that months down the line. And I also want to say, as much as we can go through with these experiences, I want to remind us also of not holding on to victim mentality. And we're all capable to some degree of, you know, taking accountability for ourselves and being able to make choices and take the next steps toward what it is that we set our intentions and goals towards. And I know it can be tough to dig into that willpower at the solar plexus sometimes because of all the blocks, you know, all the discouragement, all the judgment and the opinions, all the societal programming out there. But you know what we can do? We have the power and choice to bring our focus, bring our awareness to ourself, to our being, and start to clear out our chakras, start to clear out the solar plexus. You know, identify where you're holding on to self-judgment, where you're holding on to criticizing, where you're holding on to having low self-esteem, and why. These are things that we can do today, in this moment, and the rest of today, and days on, is we can continue to focus on our self-awareness, our own health, and our own well-being. And it doesn't require anything. It doesn't require anything outside of us. It doesn't require needing to be at a specific place. It's just about right now and who you are. And bringing that focus, bringing that awareness in, instead of externalizing the focus out, trying to find answers in everything around us. But just try to clear up the internal system. So then those organic within us can then
important to add to what you're saying. Always make sure you can't pour from an empty cup. You know, everyone takes care of everyone else first, and then, well, I'll give myself the leftovers. Well, that's only going to work so long. You got to take care of yourself, you know.
Exactly. You know, if we want to be our best self for those that we love around us, especially starting with those closest, whether it's a partner, our parents, our children, brothers and sisters, whoever it may be, you know, we do have, well, I don't want to say we have to, because, you know, we can all do what we want, but ideally, if we want to be energetically the best that we can be for those around us,
we got to fill our cup. And filling our cup can look in many different ways. For some people, it could be having right into routines with like chakra balancing, doing yoga, exercise. It could be taking a salt bath to release your emotions before addressing something and communicating. It can be sitting in nature for a little bit by a waterfall, or sitting in the grass in the sun, doing some breathing, whatever it may be. Just remember to take the time and take as much time as you need to do self-care and rebalance yourself, so that, number one, you can come to the other person, or you can address whatever it is outside of you with clarity. How
My
often?
chickens are saying hello.
What's that?
My chickens came over and they're saying hello.
Oh, nice. I love chickens. They're so cool. But yeah, like, how much should we put clarity at the forefront of our healing process or our life?
True.
How important clarity is to approach somebody with clarity when it comes to communication, when it comes to listening and receiving. It's huge, I feel like, to be clear. And what does it take to be clear with clarity is, really releasing and sorting out energies within you. Allow yourself to be grounded. Find a way to ground yourself so you can be stabilized. And yeah, I can go on for days about this stuff.
It's very important.
Just self-awareness, like, to really
Yes.
put a cap on all of it. It really comes down to self-awareness. And how much are we staying aware of the self throughout our day? And when I say the self, I'm not talking about like egoic stuff. I'm talking about the self as in your whole being. And how much are you listening? How much are you listening to your body? How much are you listening to the emotions that are trying to be released, that are trying to be free from your being? And how much are you listening to your programming and patterns that are going through your thoughts? And which ones are you listening to?
And why?
And why? And what can you do to divert those thoughts, to shift them, to release old thought patterns and integrate new thought patterns? These are all things that you guys can all reach out to me and work on with me one-on-one through my services. These are things that I offer through my intuitive life guidance. I help with daily patterns, habits, and routines, shadow integration, and help you prioritize your own schedule throughout your day. Because as you were speaking on earlier, it's really easy to not prioritize our own health and well-being throughout the day, because you wake up and next thing you know, you're getting your kid ready for school 6 a.m. in the morning, and then after that you're eating a very low nutritional breakfast, and then getting yourself scrambled together to go to work in the morning. And then you go to work, no practice, no nothing to get yourself balanced and centered for the day. And then after dealing with your kids' energy in the morning, you then rush off to work, So now you're in that energy of your nervous system getting all
Mm-hmm.
riled up because you're on a rush to go to work. Then, you know, you get your caffeine, you get your coffee, whatever it may be. And then you add that into your system. Now your nerves are running off of coffee. And then you get
And they're already agitated because your kid was having a tantrum.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to work. Now you're at work. And now you're an empath and you're sitting around all these people's energies at work that are unconsciously leaking their energy. So now you're absorbing that. And then you know, you leave work. Who knows? Conflict happened. Drama was brought to work. You just had to catch a little bit of the energy. You had nothing to do with it, but you were still there. And then you get off work. You have all that energy from the workplace now absorbed into your system after the rising of Kid Ready. Done nothing.
And then you got to deal with traffic.
Yep. You've done nothing to clear out. Done nothing to rebalance. So you continue on. Now, you think you have some freedom. You think you have space to do whatever. But turns out you only have a half hour until you have to go get your kid from work or from school.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, now you're dealing with the kid after school energy. And after that, whatever conflicts happen with the child or you go through, you know, trying to get them to do their homework or trying to get them self-disciplined, stuff like that. And then you go into dinner, you eat dinner, and then you have like maybe a little tiny bit of time, maybe like an hour before you want to go to bed. And then with that hour, you just watch your Netflix show. And that's it. Now think about that. There is zero prioritizing of our own health and well-being when you look at that type of daily schedule.
Yes.
And that daily schedule right there is a large percent of parents in the U.S., or I should say in the world, that have children that are going to school. And simply what I do is I just help you look at what you're doing each hour of the day, along with what you're consuming between food and drinks, because that's important as well. Not even going to touch on that right now. I'd actually like to have a live made primarily talk about that, you know, nutrition and what it does to our being. Not really like on a professional level, but just from everyday experiences and sharing the wisdom from the path. And I know with what you make, you know, your herbal remedies and other things, you know, you may be a good person to talk about that if you're interested.
Yeah. You know, I was just thinking as you're explaining this, right? And I'll be honest, I was in this 100% category. That's why when we started talking today, I was like, I had to make myself time in the morning. I had to go to bed early. I don't like to go to bed early. I'm a night person, but I just make myself go to bed early so I can get up in the morning. And that way I've got an hour, you know, to myself, silence myself to get my, you know, my grounding. And then the whole entire scenario plays out like you said. Because typically, and I'm not, you know, downing anyone for this, but I'll just use myself for an example. I used to have a glass of wine at night to wind down, right? Well, that gets rid of the meditation thing, because you can't have a meditation after you've had a glass of wine. You know, so it's like, what is your priority? I had to tell myself, Sarah, what's your priority? I'd like to enlighten my soul and my spiritual journey and go through the ascension path. Okay. Well, I can't be doing that, staying up late, having a glass of wine when I get home from work. You know, so instead I have a green smoothie when I wake up, and I have a meditation in the morning, and then I'm set for the day.
Yep.
You know, it works for me anyway.
Is there something that you do, now before bed instead of the wine?
No, I usually just come out here and just kind of this center again, maybe not necessarily meditation, but just kind of like come out here in the dark, and put my feet up because my feet are sore because I clean houses all day. So, yeah, I just put my feet up and I just, maybe have a nice glass of herbal tea. That's a really good thing I love to do when I get home. I love to make some herbal tea, or like, say, for example, you like green tea. So make some nice green tea with lemongrass and mint, put it in the fridge. And then when you get home, pour yourself a nice glass of that and then go sit on your back porch. Instead of having a beer, have that. And you'll feel just the same. You'll feel that relaxation. You won't have a headache in the morning. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Whatever you like to have. If you like to have, black tea with mango, so be it. Whatever. If you like to have, chamomile, whatever, so be it.
Yeah. I know a few good teas to have at night that help with resting is chamomile, kava. Kava's pretty good.
Yeah.
And blue lotus tea.
Oh, yeah. I do have some blue lotus, yeah.
Yeah, those are all pretty decent helpers for getting to sleep so you can rest.
Even some skullcap would be nice. It's a nice soft tea.
And of
flavor.
Course, good old lavender, the OG.
Yeah.
Lavender's the OG.
The OG. Well, anyway, I should probably let you go do your the rest of your rising with Ra, huh?
Well, I was gonna say you can stay on if you would like. You're more than welcome to.
Okay.
And actually,
I'll let
I have
you
a question. So I know you're a mother, and you're someone that has been really experiencing the things that we were speaking on, and you've had to kind of situate and maneuver around things. What's really been a helpful tool or practice that you have found for implementing prioritizing self-care, with also having to go with your daily schedule with your son and owning your own business? What's something that's really helped you along your journey?
First of all, I need to remember to never take things personally. I clean houses. I make people's houses so beautiful they can eat off the floor. Okay? I come home and I'm like, who's going to clean my house? So for a long time, I took it personally, like, oh, look at you. You're a failure. You can't even clean your own house. Oh, And eventually I just had to be like, Sarah, stop it. It's like that tale of the shoemaker's children, the last ones to have to choose. It's kind of like when you get home, you don't want to do what you do all day. So what I first had to do was realize that, accept that, and then forgive myself. That was the most important thing, because I find that being a parent, too many times, it's so easy to get wrapped up. Say your child's having a bad day. It's so easy. I can be like, la, 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 beautiful, just, and then ring, 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 here comes the call from school or something. And then, dun, 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 all day long, and it's really hard to rise above it. So I think to find a happy place is very important, that you can center on. Like when you really wanted to scream and freak out, you can be like, okay. And you just kind of ground yourself within yourself for a moment, like when you're in the moment, so you don't, respond back with yelling or respond back with, you know what I mean? Because that just takes you right out of what you've been working on all week. And so I think it's really just like we're talking about self-awareness, but finding that center spot, that feel-good spot, that Zen spot. You got it. And if you don't have a Zen spot, establish a Zen spot. Like a place you can pull yourself to where you feel calm and you feel serene and you feel loved and you feel safe and you don't feel misunderstood. You know, that's been my most challenging thing of being a parent, is not succumbing to the negative emotions when your child has a issue or a tantrum or something. That's been my biggest thing to overcome. So as far as anything you said, do you have any advice? I guess all that being said, just being aware of that particular topic, you know, and not allowing yourself to succumb to the energies. It's like, you know, say for example, if you were in a toxic relationship or something, it's the same thing. Don't allow their negativity and their to bring you down. Don't allow other things outside of yourself to dictate what's going to happen in your mind and your body and your emotions. And once you can master that, which is hard, you got to work on it every day, but once you're willing to tackle that, it's already half the battle.
Yep, exactly.
You know?
Thank you for sharing that. Because you know, there's a lot of mothers, a lot of fathers out there that are also single and take care of their kids on their own, and just being a parent in general that could really use just more awareness and more wisdom from other parents on how to consciously navigate with their child, not just like navigate with their child, but consciously and empathetically navigate with their child.
I think a lot of it too, I have a thing posted, is your energy in your body comes out in your emotion, in your words, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
You know, and kids, a lot of them are empathic, you know, and they can feel what you really mean. You know, and a lot of times parents are just like, you know, they say something horrible and they don't realize what they've said, and the kid's like, oh my God, you know. Mm-hmm. Just be aware of your words and your emotions. It's so important. Don't talk down to yourself. We're trained to do that, you know, in life. And don't talk down to others either, because it just doesn't get you anywhere. It just makes it all worse. And it's hard, but it's possible.
Yeah. You know, if you feel like you're going to say something negative to yourself, try to turn it into a joke, you know. Try to make it into humor. And, you know, try to transmute it with some humor in that moment if you can. Because it's not that serious. As much as we can think that something is super serious, it really isn't in the end. Because it's a temporary moment out of a million, billion, quadrillion temporary moments that you're going to have. But give yourself that grace and allow yourself to understand that you are in a human experience. You are actually meant to experience the full spectrum of life. Like, it's not just like you're doing wrong or you're doing bad because you're experiencing negativity, or because you have anger inside of you, or because you're resentful. These are all things that we are meant to experience while we're here. And it is perfectly fine to experience it. But it's about, what are you going to do with it? It's in your space, it's in your field, it's in your responsible energy.
Yes.
So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to continue to hold on to it, or are you going to find ways to release it so it can go back to you?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Ponder.
Very good.
So, Sarah, if you would like to stay on, you can stay on. Go ahead and wrap up with the Sacral Chakra activation if you would like to stay on till the end.
Well, yeah. I'm going to get off the camera, but I'm definitely going to hang out and do the thing with you.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you. I had a wonderful chat.
Yeah, I'd love to set up some conversations about, you know, your herbs, so you can talk about what you make and why, and broadcast that out to the collective.
Yeah.
And yeah, we could also talk about, I don't remember what the other topic was we discussed earlier, but we can talk about that as well. Oh, we were talking about healthy consumption.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool too to come on and do like a little chat about maybe a 5-minute quick pick-me-ups and different ways you could do that, and maybe talk about that so people would feel like a little more hopeful. Okay, I could squeeze 5 minutes into my schedule. That might be a good idea too.
I'd be open to that.
Yeah. All right. Well, blessings. Have a lovely Friday.
All right. Friday.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Sarah. All right. That is Sarah Broadhead for everybody out there. Go ahead and give her a follow. Show her some love. She talks about a lot of interesting topics on her page. She also makes herbal remedies. And she is also a conscious mother as well. Alrighty, y'all. So now we are going to do our chakra activation for today on Rising with Ra. And today it is going to be the Sacral Chakra. And the Sacral Chakra, for those of you out there, briefly, the Sacral is the orange energy center, and it's located around the bladder, underneath the navel. And it has the characteristics of our inner child. It is the energy center to sense and feel emotions. It is our energy center that contains our life force energy, or our Kundalini energy, or vital energy. It is also the energy center for our sensuality and sexuality. And this is going to be the energy center if we have any sexual traumas, any inner child wounding, any depletion in life force energy or lack of creative energy. And it's also going to be where we can be blocked in being an emotional person, or we can be overactivated in our emotions. These are some of the things that are occupied at the sacral. And I'm going to go ahead and go through a few of the Ascended Masters, and we can go ahead and choose, if we wish, a Ascended Master to call upon to help activate our sacral today. So a few of the Ascended Masters. Number one of the blue ray, we have El Moria, and he represents self-dependency, faith, power, certainty, courage, clear direction, and purpose. Next one we have is Lord Lantu, the yellow ray, represents illumination, wisdom, love, teaching, clarity, and intuition. Next we have Serapis Bey, and he is of the white ray. He represents ascension, holiness, motivation, creativity, self-discipline of the four lower bodies, which is the mind, body, emotions, and astral or etheric. And then we have Saint Germain, the violet ray, transmutation, ritual, mercy, and alchemy.
And then we also have Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin of the pink ray of light represents compassion, feminine grace, beauty and power, kindness, gentleness, and sweetness towards self and others, receiving and giving love, music abilities, protection of women and children, spiritual enlightenment and gifts, staying centered in the midst of turmoil. It's a really good one to work with, Kuan Yin, for mothers and parents out there that are trying to remain centered in the midst of conflict with their children. Let's see, and then let's go ahead and go with Melchizedek. Melchizedek, the king of righteousness, father energy, correcting unpleasant situations, esoteric understandings, purification, shielding against psychic attacks, therapy involving colors, enlightenment, alchemy, miracles, transformation, and manifestation. All right, so those are quite a few of the Ascended Masters. There are way more out there. Feel free to put in the comments here on the live replay or YouTube which Ascended Master you'd like to call into your space to help activate and balance your Sacral Chakra. Feel free to put a brief description why. Kuan Yin is Q-U-A-Y-I-N. And I'm going to go ahead and choose I'm going to go ahead and choose the Violet Flame Saint Germain. And the reason why I'm choosing Saint Germain for my sacral is for the transmutation ability as well as mercy and alchemy. And with that, you know, I feel like the sacral, we go through so much sacral energy. I mean, we go through all chakra energies daily, of course. But I feel like with this focus, with the sacral, there's a lot to transmute when it comes to sexual energy and our emotions, not just in my own personal level, but in a collective level through the masculine and feminine energies. And I feel like the Violet Flame with transmutation is very helpful for that. And just really, you know, transmuting these past experiences, going from myself to a collective level, dealing with sexual energy is big. You know, we need major transmutation of that energy. So I'm gonna call upon Saint Germain to help also activate and enhance with alchemy my inner feminine creative energy, and then trickle in some of that mercy of forgiveness and letting go. All right, so feel free to get comfortable. Consider lay down. If you are sitting,
trying to have the back straight so that your spine is flowing with your life force energy. If you're laying down, having your legs straight and not crossed, so we're not blocking the flow of energy in and out of the soles of our feet. Next, relaxing our shoulders, allowing them to drop to the side, releasing any clenching in the jaw or in the hands. And then the breath. We're going to breathe in through the mouth, expand the stomach, draw the breath through the mouth down to the sacral below the navel. Then exhale out of the mouth. Breathing in through the mouth, down to the sacral. Exhale out of the mouth. Continue to repeat this breath pattern throughout the Reiki, as this will help you receive as well as release more smoother and supported. And as you breathe, you may consciously in your own mind call in and ask for the service of the Ascended Master that you chose. And you may visualize or allow yourself to feel their energy however resonates for you. And be open to them activating and cleansing your sacral with you. Continue to breathe. Crystals you can use for the sacral: carnelian, calcite, a few of the black stones, onyx, tourmaline. You may use quartz, tiger's eye, citrine, these are all great stones for the sacral. Remembering the breath, continuing to breathe in through the mouth, down to the sacral, and exhale. Continue the breath. Next, take your hands, cup your fingers together. This makes a focal point for the energy flowing out of the palms of our hands, which is where our Reiki comes from, is through the palms of the hands to be channeled. Now with your crystal, go ahead and place your hands right below your belly button, over top of each other on the sacral. Continue to breathe and allow yourself to continue to receive and interact with the Ascended Master of your choice. You may repeat these affirmations out loud or inside of your own mind at your own wish. I affirm that I am deciding to let go, to release the hold and attachment to past experiences,
that have distorted and polluted my sexual life force energy. I am returning it back to source. I am grateful for my strength. I am grateful for the wisdom that has came through these experiences. I will continue to nurture my being, to give myself gentle, affectionate love. I am validating my full spectrum of emotions, knowing that they are okay to experience. I am also acknowledging that my emotions are temporary. I affirm that I am allowing myself to be joyous, to be happy, to feel the ecstasy and the love of living life. I am open and feeling all of the support that I have around me and within me. Thank you, Mother Earth, Divine Father, all in between. I feel the support of the grass, the trees, the sun, the animals, other humans. And I affirm that I am worthy and valuable and sacredly harnessing my life force energy for pure intentions of manifestation and for sharing the beauty of life with others. Ashe. Beautiful. Feeling lighter. Everything's always brighter after these activations. So nice. Feel lighter and brighter. Lighter and brighter. I trust that we have received what we needed to. That we are feeling lighter as well. And if you may, go ahead and take a big deep breath to close out. And release. All right, everybody. That does it for Rising with Ra on this Friday. Everybody have a beautiful weekend, if that is what you call it. Or a strong forward, as good old Seven Bomar would call it. Instead of weekend, strong forward. However you see the time and space that you're going to be experiencing. Enjoy it. Remember your balance, self-awareness. Reclaim that energy from spaces that no longer belongs. And the more simple reminders. Don't forget to hydrate. Hydrate well with clean water. Remember to ground daily. Make sure you're grounding your energies. Spend a little bit of time out on your patio, or on your deck, on your porch, or get outside to a park. Spend some bare feet on that ground. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. And if you don't know what to do, reach out. Reach out for support. Ask questions. Ask your guides. Sit down with your guides. Set the intention. What steps can I take? Or do I need to bring my focus inward? Clear myself out, rebalance my being, and then take steps. That's one thing we can always do if you don't know what to do next, is you can bring that focus inward. And what you can do next is focus on your own health and your own well-being. And then take steps. Be wise about your downtime. But all right, everybody. I will see you all tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Root Chakra Empowerment Workshop, if you will be there. $7 for free for those that are Sacred Kingdom members. Just reach out, $7, and I'll send you the link. And I will see you at 6 p.m. Eastern via Zoom for the Root Chakra Empowerment today. And then I'll be back on Sunday for the Ascended Masters meditation here on Instagram Live, 8 p.m. Eastern. Wholeness and balanced love.